Hi guys, it's Thalia coming back on here for Friendly Fire, and I'm coming at you for my car. You know how it is when you're a busy mom and you're like, okay, there's so many things I need to do. How can I get them done in my car? Going here and there, dropping kids off, waiting for kids. I'm actually on my way after dropping my daughter off from dance class to go serve at the healing rooms at our church, and just had a little bit of limbo time. And there was something that the Lord reminded me of the evening after I had recorded that last video about homeschooling. And he reminded me of this little nugget, which is just one of the ways that he had taught me how, just kind of like the importance of listening to him and being obedient to what he's telling you to do, even when you don't maybe understand why he's telling you to do something. And I have some other really cool testimonies of that too, that some things that kind of like how he got me to Michigan, that I'll share later. I totally want to do videos on that, but this is just something that specifically had to do with the homeschooling, so I wanted to share that. And I kind of had mentioned in the last video about how I was, at the time of before I had started the Abeka program, I was doing just kind of like one-on-one work with Brooklyn, and it was so fun because we had that one-on-one time together. But after having Bradley and having like this newborn in the house, and knowing that I was going to add Blakely on, I was really praying just about, just because for my personality, I personally was just feeling overwhelmed with that. A lot of people probably would not whatsoever, would probably like laugh at me for feeling overwhelmed with that. It probably is funny, but with my personality and just a lot of the different things that God has me doing, and he had a lot of things that he has me involved in, I was just kind of talking to him, and I'm like, okay, Lord, like, I know you've called me to homeschooling, and I love it now, and I want to homeschool, and I just told him, I told him what was going on in my heart. Like, I'm just feeling overwhelmed at the thought of bringing Blakely on and having to juggle like teaching both of them, and how am I going to fit it all in and make sure that they're learning everything that they need to learn, and I'm not dropping the ball anywhere. And because at the time when I was schooling Brooklyn, Blakely was down for a nap, so I was able to fit it all in just in that nap time, and that was awesome. But I just couldn't see myself being able to do that with both of them. And anyways, so as I was praying about it, God had spoke to me, and he told me to get together with a friend of mine, and he just said, get together with her. And she's somebody that is in my life, and I know, and I'm not saying her name because I didn't ask her first if I could say her name, so I just want to be respectful of people's privacy in case people don't want their names said on YouTube and all that stuff. And she'll probably listen to this video, and she'll probably be like, oh my gosh, you could say my name, but I'm just being cautious and careful of that. So anyways, so I was like, okay, so she's somebody that I see, but I don't get to see very often. And when we do get together, though, we always just have amazing conversations about God. And so I kind of assumed that was the reason maybe why God was having me or wanting me to get together with her, because he just kind of mentioned it to me like in one of my days when I was doing something I wasn't necessarily praying at the moment about homeschooling situations. He just like said to me, get together with her. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm sure we'll have like a great conversation about God. There'll be something neat that I'll learn, because I always learn and glean so much from her whenever I get a chance to get together with her. She's like wise beyond her years. But so anyways, I just texted her, and I was like, so I think we need to get together. Like, God told me we need to get together. And she's like, okay, and usually like it's very rare that I get to go to her house, and stuff like that. Usually when I would see her, it would be like at a family birthday party or something like that, like I would get invited to someone's birthday that's within her family, and she's there too, and stuff like that. So it's very rare. So I it's one of those things where you could feel awkward, but I just was like, God told me to do it, so I'm going to do it. And she was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's get together. Awesome. And so she had me over to her house, and when I went over there, of course, like, yeah, we're talking about God, and we're talking about all these cool things God's doing in her life, my life. It was really neat. But one of the things that I started to really observe, because she does the Abeka program and has done it for years with her kids, and one of the things I was observing is like she was in the kitchen talking to me. We were sitting at a table. She was folding laundry. She was doing other things. she had different kids doing their lessons in like different rooms, and one of her oldest daughter was in a room that was fairly near us, and she was on her laptop, and I could kind of see what was going on and how she was being very engaged with her work, while my friend and I were able to have our great conversation. And homeschooling did come up, and we talked a lot about that, but we were talking about a lot of other things, and I was just kind of like observing a lot of what was going on, and how the cool like vibe they had going on in their home, where mom could still get a lot of things done and the kids were being schooled at the same times. And some of the younger ones would bring like their paperwork in, maybe they'd have a question for her and she could answer that, and then they could go back to do their schoolwork, and she could finish her conversation with me, finish her laundry, do a couple other things in the kitchen. And then the older daughter at one point had come in and was like, Mom, I'm hungry. I thought I'd make something. Do you want me to make some stuff for the other kids? And so she did that, and my friend and I still kept talking, and it was just really neat how I was able to observe that in their home, how cool this program was able to operate, this Abeka homeschool program, and just how they just had like a cool family vibe going on. It was just really neat. And I'm like, okay, I think I need to check out this whole Abeka program. I think that God is telling me something through this. And then her and I were able to talk about it a lot too, and why she had chose it. So that was really neat. But it just was a really neat experience for me of how I got introduced to that, because it's not like I got a word from God and it came down like, check out the Abeka program. It was just kind of like, get together with her, and I did, and I was able to observe, and I could see how it was going to fit into my family life so well, and how I'd be able to still get all the things done that as a mom we have to do. I can start a meal, I can fold laundry, I can clean something, and my kids can still come to me, ask me questions. I'm still there, but I don't have to be like 100% present, sitting being the teacher with them. And for other people, that would just be like, they'd be heartbroken, like they just want to be the teacher, and that's that's their thing. And I will say that was like a little hard for me actually at first with the program. It maybe took me a couple weeks to kind of just I'm not like sitting down with her, and I'm not having that one-on-one time with her. You still have times where you get to sit down with them, and sometimes it's just fix a little something on their computer, other times it's help them out with like a math problem, answer a question, help them find something in the book. There is still little things that you will have to do, but it's a little bit of an adjustment if you are switching over to that program when you've done something else. But all in all, it's just really what God was calling me to do at the time, and I was so thankful for it. And even for like days like today, where Brad, my husband, he works from home, so he was able to go, or I was able to go and teach a class. I teach cycling at my local YMCA, so I was able to go teach my class. My girls are at home doing their schoolwork while I'm gone. I come home, one of them is already finished, and then the other one just had a couple of things to finish up, so I was able to get started on getting lunch ready for them, fed them a late lunch, get them ready for dance, just stuff like that. So if my husband's obviously not working from home, then they come with me to the Y. But anyways, I hope that this helps, just a little information about that, and how that kind of came about, and just a little tidbit of, I guess one of the ways that God's taught me, just listen to me, even when you might not understand why I'm telling you to do something, just do it. And he's always got a really cool blessing in us for that. So hope you guys are all having a great week, and I will be back on here hopefully soon talking about some new cool things that he is downloading to me. All right, love you guys.